A warm good morning to fellow Toastmasters of District 120. Today, we are here for our first term judges training program. And I would like to welcome you all again. I see people are joining in the meeting, but we will start the meeting. Let them keep joining. So today in our judges training program, we are going to see on different aspects of judging, the updated rules in the rule book, and also about the contest management. And for that, we have our district CJ who has joined with us. And before that, I would like to give a brief introduction about her. So our district CJ is currently the Associate Vice President at NatWest Group. She has served as past area director and also as the Deputy Chief Judge of District 120. She has been the conference chair for Rhetoric 2019, and she is the first YLP coordinator of District 120. She is our current District Chief Judge. Let's put our hands to welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Vaisali Sridhar Babu. OT.
Thank you, Abdul, for the warm introduction. Good morning, District 120. Today, when I was just checking on WhatsApp, there were 3 quotes that caught my attention. So one of the quotes said that you never know what a person undergoes, so don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone. Do not speak to people because they are in their sufferings. Judgmental is the biggest sin of humankind. So judgmental, being judgmental or judging someone for their actions, judging someone for their words is considered to be one of the most kind of a thing, a cynical thing that people do. But at Toastmasters, we all have the privilege to judge people for what they speak. And this is the only platform where judging has been considered as ethical for all of us. So that is one privilege we all take up being a Toastmaster. And from a JTP standpoint, today's session, it is all going to be about refreshing the basics. Because most of the time, what happens is we all get to familiarize ourselves with the way and the process in which the contest is happening and the process in which the judging is being held. But in this entire journey, what happens is we get lost with some of the rules or we tend to oversee the rules. So when we went through the registration, we saw that nearly 70% of the people are first-time voting judges and first-time chief judges. So today's content has been designed entirely for them to focus on the basics of content management, basics of being a voting judge, and basics of being a chief judge. I know there are a lot of senior Toastmasters who have soaked themselves in contest management, who have been seasoned chief judges, who have been in judging for almost a decade. But today is the day for all the newbies who have joined our fraternity in recent times. So I request you all to have all your questions or any kind of scenarios or challenges you want to share from our past experiences to be put up only during the question and answer session. So do not put up your hands to share something from your experience that this has happened to me, that has happened to me. This was one criteria which I had to overcome. We will take up all the scenario-based kind of challenges and subject at the end. First, we will run through the content of what is being given in the rule book. Because for judging, rule book is our golden source and Toastmasters rule book is our Bible. So today is all about rule book, not about our past judging experiences. So I've set the context to the clear of what I can. With that, so let us begin. Let me share my screen. So as I said, judging is ethical when it comes to Toastmasters. So these are fairly the subjects that we are going to see today. So it is going to be about contest management, contest rules, eligibility, protest, ballot walkthrough, and we also have a small mock contest at the end of the session. So this is going to be predominantly the agenda and the content for today's session, but I'm not going to take it in a cluster and walk about all the contest management, all the contest rules and all the eligibility. It is going to be about a bit of a mix and match. So let me first begin with the basic of a poll. So Abdul, can you just launch that poll?
Sure.
This is the basic question that comes in contest management. Who should do the briefing for the contestants? Okay. Okay, most of you got it right. Contest chair should do the briefing for the contestants in the presence of the chief judge. That is very important. You cannot exclude your chief judge, book in for a time with all your contestant and do the contestant briefing. It is needed to have your chief judge to be present at the time of your contestant briefing. That is very, very important. So moving on. So let me just walk through the responsibilities of a contest chair. Before the contest, the very first process is to verify the eligibility. So eligibility, we normally verify the eligibility of the contestants for the role players. But what has happened in recent times is lot of chief judges, they weren't making their renewal when the contest was happening. So as a contest chair, you're 100% entitled to verify the eligibility of your chief judge as well. Because this scenario normally happens during the area contest. Assume your area contest is on October 2nd. By September 30th, if your CJ has not made the renewal, the person cannot be your CJ for your area contest. This is something very, very crucial for the area directors. They will be making their payment a week after or 10 days from that. But as on October 2nd, if your chief judge has not renewed, then that person cannot serve as your CJ for your contest. That is something what a contest chair should take care of. And the second thing is to rehearse your contest master scripts. From the district, we are going to share the contest kit as usual that will contain all your contest master scripts, the role player scripts. So everything will reach your inboxes in a week's time. So from there, you would be able to take up all the district standard contest master scripts and then use it for your contest. Then preparation of your posters and flyers. Ensure that you publish those flyers at least 3 days prior to the contest. Just don't do it before the night of the contest. Most of the times what happens, let us welcome the contestants of area E2. Then even for division contest, what happens? It comes just before the day night. But please plan in advance and ensure that all your posters and flyers are being published 3 days before your day of the contest. An agenda is something that you have to look on and ensure to share the agenda to your chief judge so that the chief judge can in turn share it to the voting judges and the judges can plan their availability for the contest. And getting certificates printed and arranging for trophies and role player briefing. These are some of the basic things that a contest chair should look before the commencement of the contest. Fine. And as I said, contest chair should do the contestant briefing. If you are a very first time contest chair for a contest, take help from your CJ, go through the content and do the briefing in the presence of your chief judge so that if you miss upon any point, your chief judge can cover up for you in the briefing process. So that is how the process should be carried out. So moving on, during the contest. So during the contest, proxies are allowed. By chance, if a contestant is not able to make it up, choose a person, not by yourself. Allow the contestant to tell who the proxy is. Because a lot of people, they have this lucky charm things. They are very sentimental. This person chose my proxy. That's why I lost the contest. Don't get into those kind of controversies. Allow the contestant to set up a proxy for themselves so that that person can pick up the lot during the lot picking process. That's something very important. And also ask the chief judge if all the judges have come. Most of the time, what happens when the contest master briefing happens, at that time, judges keep coming. As a contest chair, set the context to your chief judge that before the commencement of the contest, all the voting judges should also be duly present. This is one instruction where a contest chair can give it to the CJ. That is something that you all have to ensure and ensure all your contestants and role players are also present. Don't keep searching for your sergeant at arms and timer when the contest master script is going on. Ensure all people are placed at right spots at right time. That is the thing. Then after the contest, so declaring the results, we normally do it in the reverse order, third place, second place, and first place. That's how it goes. You're not supposed to use any additional words like guess who the winner is. It's obvious that this person has won. Let us not put our creativity in declaring the contest. Hold your fire and keep it as simple and plain as possible and declare the results in the reverse order. There could be some scenarios, especially in your club contest, where there would be less than 3 contestants. Assume that there are only 3 contestants in a club contest. In that case, you're supposed to announce only the second place winner and the first place winner. I mean the second place, first runner up and the winner alone. The third place person should not be announced in case where there are only 3 contestants at a club level. This is a scenario that normally happens at club level. For area and division, it doesn't happen. For all the contestants who are going to play the role for the first time at club level, if there are only 3 contestants, ensure that you do not announce the third person's name. Fine. And the next important point is about not announcing the name of the disqualified contestant. In one of the recent contests last year, what had happened is accidentally the contest chair announced that so-and-so person was disqualified for time. So in these kind of situations, it is the responsibility of the chief judge to educate the contest chair. The chief judge and contest chair is like a combo. You have to work hand in hand to ensure that if one person is pretty new to the process, the other person has to educate and equip that person accordingly. So one small suggestion for all the area directors and division directors, or even for the club presidents, when you look for your contest chair and chief judge, have that balance. If your contest chair is pretty new, see if your chief judge is little seasoned. Or if your chief judge is something that you want a fresh judge to play and run the show for you, ensure that your contest chair is little seasoned. Don't put both of them as new and you take all the burden to keep briefing. Normally what happens at sometimes area directors do the briefing, division directors do the briefing. No. There is no right need for the area directors and division directors to be even present at the time of the briefing. It's just out of their own will they go and do, because they're very extra cautious because it is their area, their division. Don't keep hand-holding your contest chairs and chief judges. Let them do their job. Delegate. So you need to have that right rhythm of one being very seasoned and other being the first-time role player. So this is how you have to balance your chief judge and contest chair combo. Fine. And the other important thing is, it is the responsibility of the contest chair to pass on the winner's notification to the next level contest chair. For example, if you're a contest chair at club level, pass on the winner's notification to the area chair. For area chairs will do it to the division chair, division in turn to the district. Again, area directors, division directors, you normally pass it to the next level. No, allow your chairs to do that. It is that is the final closure responsibility of a chair to pass on the winner's notification to the next level chair. Mostly as CJs, we get this content only from the area directors and division directors. But it is the duty of your contest chair to pass on the winner's notification list as well, and ensure to enter their phone numbers. Because if I am the CJ at the area level, and if I have only the names at the club level, I wouldn't be able to contact that person. I don't want to go back and bug the area director. Instead, what I can do is I can call the contestant directly to see and tell them that so-and-so person has dropped off. If you're available, you can fill in the position. It's just for you to have your burden lessened so that you would be able to run the show in a free manner. So all the area directors and division directors ensure that even if the email address is not present, that's still fine. All the phone numbers have to be entered in the winner's notification form so that the next level CJs and the contest chairs can pick up that information from that particular form if there are any backouts at the last moment. Fine. So this is all about contest management. Do we have any questions so far? If that is the case, we will put it on the chat box. Okay, if there are any questions coming, no, yes. Okay, we'll move on. So next is poll 2. Abdul, can you launch that? Now, a lot of times what happens, area directors, they cannot contest, but still they want to give speeches. They want that contest environment. They want to be there. I don't want to lose touch this 1 year. So let me go. On a different area, on a different division, not on the same thing, at a different place. Assume that a division A area director wants to be a target speaker at division H conference. Okay, some of you have said yes and some of you have said no. Let's see the answer. The answer is actually no. The rule book clearly says candidates for elected district leader positions for the term beginning the subsequent July 1 are ineligible to serve as contest officials or as test speaker at the area, division, or district level. Even you cannot serve as a timer in the contest. All area directors and division directors, when there are dropouts in your own area or with your fellow area directors or division directors, don't go and fill in those positions. So somebody calls the area director saying, my contest master has dropped out. Can you come and do me the contest master role? So this person will go read the script and do the show. No. Rule book clearly says you're not supposed to serve as a contest official, including the test speaker role for all the area directors and division directors. Most of the times you fill in the backout roles, but don't do that. Especially at the area contest, silently you play the tally counter roles. Silently you play the timer roles. Or the best easy role is to become the sergeant at arms and open the show. You're not supposed to play any of the contest roles is what our rule book says. And that is also the suggestion that is being given by a district as well. Fine. So this is the eligibility matrix for different things. For a contestant, for a chief judge, for voting judge, test speaker, and role players. So this is your thing. For a contestant, at any level, the eligibility is same. The person should be a good paid member in a club that is in good standing. The member should have paid, and also the club should be in good standing. A lot of times what happens, the member is paid, but at the renewal, the club is not able to meet the condition. But still, if the contestant wants to proceed to the area, no. That is considered as a disqualification. So all the CJs at the area level, this is very crucial because a lot of contests happen in that window of 1st October to 10th October, the area contest. Ensure that the clubs are in good standing. And do not encourage the process where they do the renewal the previous day night, download the invoice, send it to you so that after the contest, it will reflect in the dashboard. Do not encourage such process. Ensure that the renewals are made much before and much prior. This is one scenario that normally happens. The clubs sink, but the area directors want those contestants to get to the area level. They are very seasoned speakers, good speakers. I want to give them opportunity. They are the potential candidate for the division. And what they do the night before, Sunday morning area contest, Saturday night they will renew. It will not reflect in the dashboard. They will download those invoices and send it to the chief judge. For all the CJs, do not entertain such practices. Ensure at least 2 days before the contest, this good standing and paid member eligibility is being sought out. If the member has not renewed, push your contest chair or push the area director and get it sorted. That's very important. And to be the chief judge at a club level, it is enough if the member is just paid. From area, division, and district, the person should be a paid member and should have completed level 2 in pathways. And people who have been in the old manual, they should have completed at least speeches until CC6. So this condition is applicable for the voting judge, for the test speakers, and also for the role players. Lot of times what happens is role players, they are not paid members because you have backouts. So you call someone who didn't renew at your club and ask that person to be the timer at the area. Don't do that. And test speakers, this happens. The person will not renew, but still you want that person to be the target speaker, so you push them to the area. So all these flaws majorly happens during the area contest. So ensure that you do not entertain. For all the CJs of the area contest is what again and again I'm emphasizing, because for division, the process gets even more matured and it's more refined. At a club level, it is being sorted in a different way. Area is one area where there are a lot of disruptions that keeps happening. So ensure you fit into this matrix of eligibility and see that your contestant, your chief judge, your voting judges, your test speakers, and all of the role players meet this eligibility criteria. Okay. And before I get into the next content, how many area directors are here? Could you just put up your hands? I'm not able to see. Okay, we have got a handful. Okay. There is, according to the rule book, area contest should be conducted offline. That is being proposed. Except for the club contest, all other contests should happen in person and offline is something that has been proposed. I see a lot of facial expression change. I understand because a lot of you have already announced your dates. You have told your people that everything is online. But our district is working on that. Once our trio are back from the convention, after the district council meeting happens, the polling will be done depending upon the vote. For the area contest alone, maybe we will have a relaxation. I'm putting my words very clear. Don't go back and say that in JTP it was told. No, I'm putting it very clear. There may be a change in relaxation for the area contest alone. Club, it is up to the club president's decision and the club's decision. For the area, according to the rule book, it has to be offline, it has to be in person, but there could be a relaxation and we need to wait for the communication to come in after a week. And to all the division directors, it is going to be 100% offline. So that's actually in a way a good thing because you don't have the projector burdens, need to look for a venue where there are projectors. So you're entitled to run your contest 100% offline and in person for all the division directors. Okay. So this is one thing that has come up in the rule book this year. And we have posted few queries to the TI as well. So we are waiting for responses from the Toastmasters International as well. Once we get a collective response and depending upon what is being decided in the district council meeting, the final communication will reach to all the area directors, either through your division directors or through your trios. Fine. Any questions with respect to this online offline thing, especially for ADs? I know you have clubs in different places, in different in a different town or a different city, and some of your members are not even in Chennai. They are because of online thing. There are people who are not even in India. You have got international participants as well. But this is something what TI is just trying to bring back the old rhythm of what we were doing before COVID. That's the agenda behind it. So ensure for all the area directors, if you have all your clubs within Chennai or within Coimbatore or within Madurai or some place where you would be able to run your show, start planning to have all your contest offline if possible. If not, let's wait for the communication from the trio and from Toastmasters International, and you can go ahead and make your decisions accordingly. So I've made it very, very clear. So don't go back and say that it was again said in the JTP that it is offline, it is online. No, we are waiting for communication for the contest mode to be conducted at area level. But for division, to all the division directors, it is going to be 100% offline and you have to run your contest in person. Done? Okay, so with that, I'll move on with the session. Okay, next. Abdul, you have it? I think there was a spell error. It should be contestant. Okay, there are mixed responses again here. The right answer is the chief judge should disqualify the contestant because what happens is when you run through the eligibility at the next level, for example, at the club level, the contest is over. Now the CJ at the area level has to ensure if the contestant was eligible on the date where the club contest had happened. For all the CJs, when you look through the eligibility, check that even at the previous level of contest, the contestant was eligible. Normally what we do, get the roster, see if they are paid, eligibility done. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to ensure that even at the previous level, the person was eligible because the rule book clearly says if at any level it is determined that a contestant was ineligible to compete at any previous level, the contestant must be disqualified. This disqualification may occur even if the ineligibility is discovered at the later level. Assume that the person has contested. The contest is over, tally counters have collected the ballots, the judge has written, and the person has come at the top 3. Now the contest chair is about to announce the results. At that point of time, it has been found out that the person was not eligible when the contest at the previous level had happened. Even at that point of time, you have to disqualify the contestant. Okay. So participated without renewing at area contest, renewed after winning the area contest, the person gets disqualified at the division contest. So this is how it goes. Any doubts on this renewal process? Ensure that you check for your previous level as well. Division CJs have to check on the area eligibility. Area CJs have to check on the club eligibility, whatever date the contest had happened. Again, I'm emphasizing this for area contest because all of these things will happen in the month of October. October is one season where area contest happens and the renewal and the contest falls just back to back. A lot of people, they'll wait to see if they win the contest, they will renew. So all this kind of things will happen. And the one scenario where it happens the most is a contestant will contest at club level. Assume that the contestant came 3 at the 3rd position. The contestant will not renew because he is not proceeding to the area level. But at the area level, what happens is he gets a last minute call saying that this person, so-and-so person has dropped off, I want to fill in the place. In these kind of scenarios, go back and check if the person was really eligible at the time of the contest. So these are some of the scenarios that the area CJs and the division CJs have to look upon. Any questions on the previous eligibility checks? Maybe if anyone has a question or want to share something, if you raise your hand, Abdul can unmute you. I'm not able to see any of the participants because my view has been hidden. I think Bharat Ishwar has a question. Yeah, Ishwar. Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Vaishali.
Yeah.
Now, the last point which you talked about now, somebody has participated in area contest. He came 3, level position 3. At that time, he was in good standing. Now, after that, he did not renew. That is, by September 30th, he did not renew. The area contest is happening, or division contest is happening much later in October. Now, between that time, he renews. But he has renewed before the contest. Will he still be eligible to participate? There was a break.
He'll be eligible to participate.
Eligible. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, it's just on the day of the contest, if the person has renewed or not is what something you have to look for.
Okay.
Assume that area contest is on October 2nd. Fine. September 30, the person didn't renew. He will attend the area contest and then renew after that.
Okay.
Normally, because maybe the treasurers at times they don't pay, or the person he's not aware how to make a self-payment. There could be some kind of issues.
Got it. Thanks, Vaishali.
So just on the date of the contest, the person should be eligible. That's something that we all have to look for.
Sure.
Okay. So going forward. Okay, this is another point where we all get confused a lot. Assume that there is a timer in evaluation contest. Can the person be a contestant in humorous speech? Yes, no, you can type it in the chat box. A person is a timer in evaluation contest. Can the person be a contestant in humorous speech? No, a lot of people say no, 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 yes. Okay. The answer is actually yes, according to the rule book, because rule book says you cannot be a role player or a contest official in the same type of contest. Normally, evaluation and humorous speeches happen in a cluster. Table topics and international speech contest happens in a cluster. So we have got 2 clusters of contest. So in the cluster 1, where evaluation and humorous is there, you cannot be a role player and a contestant in one particular category of the contest. If you are competing in humorous, you cannot do any roles in humorous. But you're entitled to play it in evaluation. Now assume that you scale up to area level, club level, you go to division level as a humorous contestant. Now you cannot take up any roles in humorous contest in any district, not just in 120. Once you have become a winner in a particular contest and you're scaling above, you lose the opportunity to be a role player in that particular category in any of the district, not just in 120. There are a lot of things that happen online. Maybe you live in Bangalore, you also work in Chennai, you keep shuttling. You go for the weekend at the Bangalore, your friend calls and says that I don't have a role player, my contest is happening, you come, and it happens to be a humorous contest. And if the CJ finds it out here, you will be disqualified to be a contestant at the division level. So please do not lose your opportunity. Clear? Any kind of thing, once you have won that contest, forget to be a role player until you move to the next level and see what the result is there. And don't go as a voting judge secretly. That also happens. That day morning, the CJ will call, my judges have backed out. You come, I will not tell anybody. Nobody will be seen. Just say that you came to see the contest. You want to see how other speakers are speaking so that you can do better in your own contest. All these gyans we as CJs give. I agree on myself as well. Because situations of back out are that pathetic. But we all have to be, judging is ethical. But that also has to be done in an even more ethical way. That's very important. All the CJs, don't go and pick up the contestants who have won. Okay, he is a person who has won in humorous. Let me take as a voting judge for evaluation. No. At district, we do not encourage the contestants to take up any roles. Though rule book says only on that particular content, particular contest type, from at a district level, our suggestion is to not to repeat. We have a very large district. We have got too many people who are waiting for roles. Go and give newer opportunities to new people. That's more important. And one suggestion to all the CJs is ensure that you groom at least one person as a CJ this year before your tenure ends. If you are picking up as a CJ, ensure that you groom someone to be a chief judge also. If you're taking 5 judges along with you, ensure that one person is playing as the voting judge for the very first time. Now I have this question. How would you start the judging, grooming for someone? What is the basic role you will give? Or which type of contest you will take that person? Somebody is going to go for somebody wants to be a voting judge, has attended the JTP. So let's take Gayatri. So somebody is coming and asking Gayatri, I definitely want to be, I also want to be a CJ like you. So what should I do? So where do you start, Gayatri, normally for people?
Yeah. Can I speak?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Basically, I would start it from the ballot. Briefing of ballot.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's the basic point where you have to start. Fine. They'll go see, write 1, 2, 3, give no. You have to brief on the ballot. And the additional thing is, for the first time, if somebody is playing as a judge, make them the tiebreaker. So that even if they are confused, the results will not affect and impact your final results. The first step of your judging journey begins with being a tie-breaking judge. Tie-breaking judge, voting judge, then chief judge. Directly, people nowadays, they want to become only chief judge. I want to be the CJ, that's all. CJ varanga, voting judge, you'll be seeing it. So that has been the tone all through the way. Start, because it's a very beautiful process. Only then you will be able to learn. To be a CJ, if your voting judges are backing out, if there are any kind of protests coming up, you have to nurture, allow yourself to have that experience of that holistic process, so that at some point of time, you would be able to scale up yourself to be a division CJ and later a district CJ. So that is how things grow. Make the process as organic as possible. To all the CJs who are going to start the journey this year, ensure you start, give that opportunity to someone to be the voting judge from being a tiebreaker to a voting judge next to the CJ. And for first time CJs, I personally suggest started at the club level, so that if things go wrong or you mess up on something, it is not going to affect. Fine. So look for maybe for some kind of clubs which are, even for the clubs which are doing their contest for the first time, or clubs where you have a lot of senior Toastmasters who they would be able to guide you in those things. And then, as I said, the president should have that combo. If your chair is little seasoned, go for a fresh chief judge. Or if your chair is very fresh, then go for a seasoned chief judge. Have that combination intact so that you run a smooth show. That is very important. So the next thing is about dual membership. What happens most of the time? A lot of people have dual membership. They are a member in a corporate club and also in a community club. At club level, they are entitled to participate in any number of clubs they want. But when it comes to area, they can participate only in one area. Now assume this scenario. A person has competed in Division A and has won at the club level and has moved at the area level. Now this person has lost at the area level. On the same hand, this person has won the club contest at Division D. Can this person now compete at the area level at Division D? Yes, no, please put your responses in the chat. Yes, someone says yes, someone says no. Okay, according to rule book, it is no. At any district, you cannot compete. Club, even if you can take membership at 10 clubs and you can compete at 10 clubs. But area, that is only one. You lose there. But again, you have another kind of an opportunity. For example, the person has competed only in evaluation in division A and humor is in division D. If the contest types are different, then you can scale up. In the same contest type, you cannot compete at different areas. Are you all getting that? So this is one scenario, because normally when CJs, they come to know that, no, I know this person is a dual member in that division, this area. Ensure that it is not the same contest type. They are entitled to compete in different contest categories, but not in the same category. Just don't go and disqualify just because the person has got a dual membership. No, don't do that. That also happens at times. Ensure it is not the same contest category. At area level, only one. That is one thing that all the CJs have to remember. Then again, the very important point is, sometimes it normally happens in corporate clubs. The contest is happening. Some person has a meeting. So he says that my lot is 3. Let the first person keep speaking, I'll come. No, you have to disqualify. The moment the sergeant at arms says that you're going to begin a humorous speech contest or an evaluation contest, all contestants should be present. If someone is not present, be it whatever be the reason, the contest chair and the chief judge have to call it for a disqualification. This is something that normally happens. Either they take time to reach the venue. In area contest, I'm stuck in traffic. Area contest normally happens in evening. Saturday morning, I'm working. Evening, I will come. You put the lot. Humorous first 2 contestants speak. I'll come number 4. Straight disqualified. Tell in the phone itself that you're disqualified. So please don't come to the venue. That's all. Okay. That's something that all CJs and contest chairs should take your call. Be very, very clear about that. This is one rule that is always forgotten or overseen. We don't see that, because you want to give that opportunity to the contestants. As CJs, especially the pressure comes from area directors and division directors. You're a very good speaker. The person comes, you're senior Toastmaster from that club, this club. No, rule is rule. Whichever club, 25 years in Toastmasters, the rule is same. 25 days in Toastmasters, the rule is same. Do not get yourself pressurized. That's very important. Do not fall for. So this is a platform where we all learn leadership. Art of saying no is one thing where you can learn in judging. You can say, I am the CJ, I'll disqualify. I am the chair, I'll disqualify. Use your title. One place at least where we all can use our power and title. Disqualification. Do it. Nice. And a lot of CJs, they come back and say, I disqualified. But be very, very, very ethical on what you do and diligent on what you do. Don't do it just because as a CJ, I have never done disqualification. Let me try at least this time. No, don't get into those traps. That comes in. I've been doing judging for 5 years. Not even once a protest has come. Not even once I have disqualified. At least this time I want to do something. No, because negativity always gives publicity. So do not fall into those traps. Ensure that you do it in the utmost diligent way. And the last thing is, okay, now this question comes. At club levels, this happen. The president will keep calling, please come and contest. Nobody comes. But one contestant is very enthusiastic. He definitely wants to do the contest. Presidents have to run the show. No other go. Even if there is one contestant, you have to run the contest. And by chance, if that person is getting disqualified in time, that person cannot go to the area. Now, presidents will take their own call. One contestant, what if he gets disqualified? Why should I call a voting judge, timer, and other things? Let me not run the contest. No. Even if there is one contest, run the contest. One contestant, ensure that you run the contest. That is what is being advised from not the district, not from me, from the rule book. So these are all the things that have, not for everything I've taken the screenshots. For few of the important things alone, I've put the screenshots. Other things I have copy pasted just for my PPT alignment. End of the thing, somebody has requested for the PPT. I'll share the PPT, the rule book, and all your master scripts and everything. All the material will reach your inboxes. So don't worry on that. Okay. I've seen few chats. If they are part of another district, Jagannathan Mariyappan, somebody has sent. Gayatri has put up your hand again. Yeah, Gayatri.
Vaishali, I have a question to clarify.
Yeah.
Say, for example, I am a dual member. Okay, dual member of say area F2 and area B2. Okay. In both the clubs I win. In both the clubs I win. So which means that I'm eligible to contest in any of the areas. Okay. Area F2 contest is happening on October 2nd. And area B2 contest is happening on October 29th.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm doing is, okay, anyway, there is a long gap between the two area contest, gap of 20 days. So I think that I will participate in area F2 contest. If I win, then I will go proceed through area F. If I don't win, then I have another chance of going through with area B2. This is what I think, because there is a gap of 20 days between the two area contest. So is this possible? Can I do this?
No. You win,
I
you
just
lose.
wanted to
Even
clarify.
if there is a gap of 1 month, you can participate only in one area. Choose whichever you want. F2 or B2 is your choice. You have to take the call. And if it's the same contest category.
Same contest category. Even if there is a very long gap, I should choose either one area to participate and then go ahead only with one area as a contestant.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. I'll just add one more little scenario to this. Assume that the contest is happening on September 27th. Same Gayatri scenario. F2 contest is happening on September 27th. Fine. So it is in that term. And B2 contest is happening on October 27th. So there's a 1 month gap. So Gayatri is participating in F2. So she is going to assume that she's not making it to the next level. And she's not making renewal with F2 also. Fine. As of October 1, she is a member only for B2. Even in that case, she is not entitled to contest. I have withdrawn my eligibility from another club. As on October 1, I have only one membership. So I want to go and proceed. So this is one tricky that overlap comes in. Until September, you are on the before tenure. You have 2 clubs eligibility. From October 1, you have got 1 club eligibility. So there you participate at area, lose, withdraw, don't renew there, come back here, have that 1 membership and participate. No, it doesn't work. As on your club contest, what is your eligibility? If you are 2, then that will be applicable until the next area level as well. Okay, clear? So we'll move on. Couple of hands are there, Saravan and Priya. I'll come back to you people. So this is about the contest rule. So if I've told you about 1 person. And the other thing is, there are cases where you're not able to run your club contest for a variety of reasons. Maybe the club was not in good standing at that point of time. But before your area contest, if your club has revived itself, at that point of time, see if you can do a club contest, or at that point of time, you can nominate 2 people to your area contest. Okay. Nomination happens only if the club was not in good standing and the club was able to revive before the area contest. In that case, you're already a good club. Normally, this happens in corporate clubs. Company sponsors, you are a 30-member good standing club, but still you don't want to run the contest and nominate. Don't do that. Unless and otherwise, your club is sinking and it is sailing again, you're allowed to nominate. You're already sailing and you want to nominate, it doesn't work. So have that in mind. Okay. So we will move on. Okay, now we have come to the ballot, the most crucial and interesting part. How many of you are doing voting judge for the first time? Just put up your hands. Voting judge first time. Okay, very few. Okay, so even if we have done it for 100 times, 200 times, the process is still the same, and we all unconsciously we get held up with those mistakes. So we'll just revise the ballots of both humorous speech and the evaluation contest. For humorous, as we all know, there are 3 categories. So one is the content, the second is delivery, and third is the language. So now as a voting judge, we will see how you should actually approach the ballot. The first is on the speech development. When it comes to speech development, especially for the humorous speech, most of the time we all get carried away when the speech is very humorous. When it is very funny, we all just get lost in the jokes, keep clapping, keep laughing. But voting judges, we miss to see if there is actually the structure that is being done. A lot of times what happens, contestants, they approach the speech like a stand-up comedy. They keep hitting jokes continuously. But the language is good, the body language is fine, audience reception is fantastic. But as a voting judge, you're not supposed to give scores in speech development. That is something very, very important. Opening, body, and conclusion, there should be a structure, there should be a flow. The person will talk about a joke that happened in a bus. Immediately, he will go back to a joke that happened in school. Then again to a joke that happens with his spouse. No. Opening, body, and conclusion, the speech structure is very important. That is the speech development that comes in. The first thing of the content. And second thing is about the effectiveness. So as voting judges, ask yourself these questions. Were you able to determine the purpose of that speech? Even if that's a humorous speech, there is a story behind a humor or something the person wants to convey. What is the purpose there? Are you able to connect with that? That is something that you have to ask yourself. And were you able to relate to that humor? A lot of times, especially in college clubs, what happened? The audience will relate to the humor. Somebody would be telling about their breakup story on a girlfriend or a boyfriend. But are you able to really directly relate with that humor? What if the crowd laughs for a particular joke, but you don't get laughter? These are some of the scenarios as a voting judge you have to be very conscious when it comes to a humorous speech ballot. Lot of times as voting judges, we all get lost in humorous speech contest about what happens with the audience. Whichever contestant gets heavy cheers and lot of claps, that person becomes the winner. No, it doesn't work that way. Look for the substance of humor. That's important. That is the primary learning you take as being a voting judge in a humorous contest. That's very, very important. Then about the speech value. When we talk about the speech value, it's about justifies the act of speaking. Sometimes what happens, to inculcate humor, there are some kind of obscene and disgusting jokes that have been thrown. Because at judging, at contesting, we don't have this taboo thing. It's open. So people tend to speak about the topic that they feel comfortable, but that's something that is uncomfortable for the audience. So you as a voting judge, ask yourself if you're really comfortable for that particular joke, for that particular humor. If you're not able to relate with that, then the speech value score of the ballot has to be considered very diligently in giving your scores. Audience may laugh for that, but you may find it not so good. It may not go well with you. In that case, ensure what kind of scores you give it in the speech value. And our audience, did people understand and laugh at the humor? Sometimes what happens, you enjoy so much on all the jokes, all the comedy that is being done, but there isn't much cheer from the crowd. So what do? You have to go with yourself and not with the crowd. Either ways, you have to go with yourself. Maybe the person who is speaking is a lawyer, and you have someone in your family who is also a lawyer. Maybe the crowd is not able to relate to that, but as a voting judge, if you are able to relate to that, still you can go ahead and allocate scores over there. Fine. So this is how the content category of the humorous speech ballot works. Ensure, irrespective of everything, opening, body, and conclusion, the structure should be maintained. Second is about the purpose. What is the real purpose? It is a humorous speech or a random stand-up comedy or a kind of a joke that keeps flowing. What is that? That determines the effectiveness of the humorous speech. And third is your speech value. Was the person able to do some justice to the speech the person has been delivering? So these 4 parameters actually determine your content in humorous speech ballot. And as a voting judge, ask yourself these questions whenever you're giving. Again, I'm saying, do not get trapped by the cheer and the applause of the audience in the humorous speech contest. A lot of whistles keep coming. No, then the best content. Okay. What you look at your ballot at the end and see that the person who got the most cheer is lagging at last. Still, it's okay. Because you are the voting judge. You weren't able to relate to that speech. That's still fine. So it is all about you, and you when it comes to voting judge. Fine. And next is on the delivery. Delivery, then the normal thing, the physical thing that comes in, their body language, their gestures, their stage presence, how much they use the speaking area. So these are the parameters that come under the physical category. Voice, again, voice modulation. Just because the person is changing tones and doing a lot of mimicry, it doesn't mean that the person has got a good voice modulation. See if the intonation is correct. A lot of times, this is one area where voting judges, they get confused. I personally have had a question over there. They said that the person is doing a lot of, he speaks in his daughter's voice and his voice. So voice is correct. No. Change of voice and doing mimicry is not voice when in voting ballot. It is about the intonation, the pitch, the high volume, the low volume. How do they carry the sentences, the flow of words? All of these things matters when it comes to voice. It is not about the mimicry that is being done in a humorous speech contest. The last thing is about the manner, where the energy the person brings in. Because for humorous speech, that is very important. The speaker himself should exhibit a lot of exuberance. There should be a lot of zeal seen. The person stands still, but the content is giving a lot of humor. Still, in this delivery part and manner, the person will lose course. As voting judges, you have to ensure the mannerism. Mannerism is all about the energy, the zeal, the exuberance the person exhibits on the stage. Normally what happens, the person stands, they're able to give a very good speech, audience laugh, all of that, but the energy level is very low, it doesn't work. So these are all the little minuscule things that voting judges have to watch over so that you're able to make a fair judging to the contest. And the last part is about the language appropriateness. Of course, grammatical matters a lot. It is not about the flowery language and high-end use of vocabulary, basic grammar and basic pronunciation. That is something that we all need to look for. Somebody who is using a lot of words from dictionary, speaking like Shashi Tharoor, 5 correctness. No, it doesn't work like that. Using a lot of words, but a lot of grammatical mistakes, again, it doesn't go. Little details is going to decide someone's destiny. As voting judges, just think one thing. There are people who prepare diligently for these speeches to become a contestant at a division level or at a district level. They practice their content 10 times, 15 times a day. They take mentorship. They go to different clubs to present their speeches. Appreciate that effort and be responsible for that effort when you are a voting judge. Just don't go and attend contest because you were free on a Saturday or Sunday. Unless and otherwise you have that mind space to be a voting judge, go. Else don't go. That's one personal suggestion I would say, because people are trying to get to that bigger stage even for a decade. So let us respect that effort and be diligent in your voting judge process. So this is all about the humorous ballot. Okay. So we will talk about the briefing of the voting judges and things. It comes little later. So someone has put up a question on that. Can a contestant in my club and not make to the next level? Can I be a CJ for another club? Yes, that is possible. We'll see about what all the things that comes to become a CJ. All those things we will just discuss. Okay, so next is on the evaluation ballot. Okay. Before I move on to the evaluation ballot, let me ask this question. Does a person's body language matter for an evaluation contest? I'm an evaluation contestant. I have my paper. I stand still, do evaluation and go. What should I do? So does my body language count or not? Yes, no, please type in. Yes, I'm getting yes, I'm getting no, mixed answers. Okay. Fine. Okay. So the answer is actually no, because in ballot of evaluation, we do not have anything for the body language. So that is the crucial thing that voting judges have to consider. I think Annie has raised her hand. Yeah, Annie.
This is, hi Vaishali, the training is really good. I think you have been explaining us with clear words that everyone can understand. Thank you so much. Quick question on the previous topic that we were discussing on the corporate contest. You said like it is good to run a contest even if we have 1 or 2 people. Is it good to run or it is must to run?
See, actually, there is a very intricate rule in rule book. I don't want to complicate the process, but as you've touched upon it, I'll just put it in a one-liner. If one club in the district decides to nominate, then that becomes a protocol for all the clubs which don't decide to run the contest or who they are not able to run the contest. Assume Bank of America is going to go for nomination and some other club, they are not able to run the contest and the sailing sinking club concept comes in. They cannot run the contest because you've given for nomination. They also have to go for nomination. So that's a very intricate rule in rule book. So that's not to complicate that process. We are advising everybody to run the contest even if it's just one contestant. Else it becomes very complicated. The club will sing during the renewal. It will stand up after that. Before area contest, they want to run, but some other corporate club had already declared nomination. We cannot apply that over here, right? So it becomes the kind of, the process becomes very knitted. You cannot stop them from running a contest because corporate clubs and dynamics are very different, right? So it is always better to run the contest even if there is one contestant. Just not to complicate this rule, I just wanted to put it as simple as run the contest even if there is one contestant. We'll go for nomination. Why? When the club is actually sinking and it is able to sail again. That case, it is a different thing. But you're already in good standing, but people are not interested. That becomes a different story. In that case, run it, even if it is one person. Okay, got it? Okay, I'll take one more question, maybe. Thirumal Murugan. Yes, sir.
No, I didn't raise hand. That was for the previous question. Sorry.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine. Okay, then maybe Lakshmi Narayan Satya. Yes, sir, please.
Okay. See, I have one corporate club which is only 8 people are there. So they are not in a mood to run the contest. 1 or 2 are willing to be part of that. Can I just take nomination from them, or should I run?
They are not ready to run the contest?
Yeah, XCOM is not ready. One person is willing to be part of the contest. I mean,
okay. In that case, even if you're the area director for that club?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, you can talk to the XCOM, somehow arrange for a contest team and run the contest.
Okay. So
the club is in good standing?
As of now, yes.
Okay. You are forcing the club to go well after the renewal as well?
True. They are just 8 people now. I'm forcing them to move forward.
Then please, sir, go ahead and run because if we put it over there, then it becomes a complexity to apply the rule across the district, which we wouldn't be able to do at that point of time because it is difficult to keep track of what club made what decision and then replicate it to the entire district. Just because one club is very meager, but there are other strong clubs, we cannot apply this protocol everywhere because dynamics of corporate and community are different, right? So that's why I said, even if it's one contestant, how much time it's going to take? One speech, right? The master script, everything put together, 20 minutes, your contest will be over.
Yeah, but how many judges we should have other than CG?
You need to have that minimum 5 judges, sir. I'll speak on the matrix of judging. So from there you can take it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. I'll move on. Then we'll come back again to the questions. Yeah. So now this is about the evaluation ballot. Evaluation ballot is very simple because we have got only 4 things: analytical quality, recommendations, technique, and summation. Quickly, we'll go through what is what. Okay, analytical is about how much the contestant has analyzed the speech, not the speaker. Most of the time this happens. They will analyze the speaker. I know you for so long. We have been working from there. I'm very proud of the progress you have made from there to here. It is a privilege to evaluate you at a contest level, you being the contestant and you being the target speaker. And if all this dramas comes in, then be very, very conscious about what scores you're giving in analytical. No personal talks. A lot of times out of contest panic, our contestants, they run out of content. That's quite common. That's fine. Even next week, I'm speaking comfortably in my laptop. Next week, when it happens in person, I also don't know if I'll be able to deliver the same quality. So that comes in. So what happens to cover up? They take up all kinds of personal things. So ensure, what are they analyzing? Are they analyzing the speaker or the speech? Nice suit. Your attire is the best thing for the speech today. Is it really making any value? is something that you have to look for. Analytical quality is all about analyzing the speech, and not the speaker. And sometimes they talk about these things. Now contest is going to happen in September, October, rains will start. What a beautiful, somebody is giving a topic about their travel, has spoken a speech about their travel journey. Somewhere they went to Leh Ladakh, then they'll connect. On a rainy Saturday morning, I just closed my eyes, you took me to Ladakh, and then I came back. I realized that I'm in a Toastmaster speech contest. Think. Language will be very good. Choice of words will be excellent. Vocal variety is going to be top-notch. But is the contestant really analyzing the speech? Most of the times we are carried away with the sugar coating. This is all like that Lay's chips packet. Nicely packed, everything, open, 4 chips. Same concept. Our contestants, they present it so well, open, how many really points did they analyze? 4 points. That concept comes in. So think, as voting judges, you have to think. It's very important. See how they are doing. And if they are really analyzing the strengths and weakness of the speech, not the speaker. Maybe this person comes somewhere from a different state. Maybe the person has come from Jharkhand and is working in Tamil Nadu. So what happens? You talk about their language. They have that Hindi pinch coming in. Then you mix up all those things. Again, the speech content should be first analyzed before going to the speaker's attributes. That's something you have to be because 40% of your judging in voting process decides on analytical quality. So look up for these things. As a voting judge, you have to look up. Voting judge is not about just going, sitting, writing scores and then coming up. No. Think. Every score matters in the ballot. Fine. Now coming to the recommendations. Now what happens? A lot of times people give recommendations. What recommendations they give? It could have been very nice if you would have worn a suit for this contest because you spoke about your boardroom. When you spoke about the travel, it would have been nice if you got something to the contest, what you bought there. And if they sing a song, they will say that you could have danced just to show. Is the recommendation really making sense? Or are they giving recommendation because they have to give recommendations? Think. Common recommendation comes in body language, vocal variety. Everybody will say, even I say that all the time. Body language, vocal variety. And one more thing, at times what I say is about the structure of the speech over. What in different combinations I say. For one speaker, I'll say body language, vocal variety, speech structure. Another speaker, I'll say speech structure, body language, vocal variety. That's it. See if the contestant or is able to bring in some kind of a different uniqueness in terms of recommendation. If they speak about their intonation, if they speak about how they can actually navigate through their speech, that is the recommendation. Maybe the person was really not so good in their body language and they're giving a suggestion. That's case, it is fine. Just because they were not able to find any recommendation, they go for the template recommendations. Vocal variety, body language, speech structure. That is standard when it comes to contest. So these are some of the things as voting judges you have to think. How much it is actually adding relevance to this target speech that was delivered. Was the person really bad in vocal variety? Did the speech really need some better speech structure? Or the contestant is saying because he or she has got no other recommendation to say. What is the actual problem there? Analyze. That's where your power of voting comes in. Your recommendation section, pay attention because that's the area that takes 30 points in the ballot. And now next is about the technique. So in technique is something what happens because of time, lot of time contestants, they don't give them techniques. They speak about body language. The technique is use the stage better. Body language technique over. For local variety, go high, come down. Vocal variety technique is over. For speech structure, work more on your conclusion. Work more on your body. Technique is over. No. Look for specific techniques. If they're really able to say, for example, if a person has got a vocal variety, see if they're able to relate it in an even more better way. You can work on your intonation. Take a sentence from that, and if the contestant says how they have to put the words along the wave when they speak, look for little intricacies. Be very meticulous when the contestant speaks about their techniques. Because most of the time techniques are very generic they give. Work with your mentor is a technique. Speak before mirror is a technique. Correct? So these are all generic things at times contestants they come up with. But really look and see if they are giving specific kind of techniques that are actually applicable for that particular speech and speaker and not common. Speaking to the mirror, even world champion, that's a technique they need. But is it needed to that speech what the target speaker delivered is something that you as a voting judge should realize. Got it? And second thing, the last thing is about summation. Okay, now here comes the interesting part. Most of the time what happens, contestants, they sum up the speech of the target speaker. But actually, their own evaluation has to be summarized. And voting judges, we all look for words put together in conclusion, summary, all together in a nutshell, 5 marks. No, doesn't work. Think. If the person is really summarizing the speech or the evaluation they give. Most of the time in ballot, those 4 keywords, once the voting judge is able to listen to that, 5 marks. Don't do that. Listen to what the person is actually summarizing. Put together, it's a nice speech, looking forward to better speeches. Because red flag is shown. So the contestant will walk off. What are you going to write in that 5 marks? Okay, he concluded, so let me write 5. These are some of the things that you have to have in your mind if you sit as a voting judge for evaluation. From my experience, I'll say out of all the 4 genres of contest, being a voting judge for evaluation is the toughest. Because you have to listen to the target speaker, absorb that content and relate it to what the contestant says. And you wouldn't be able to be a voting judge for an evaluation contest unless and otherwise you keenly pay attention to the target speaker. Most of the time it doesn't happen. That's the time where the voting judge in division contest and area contest, that's the time they'll go for coffee, take the snacks and then come inside. Target speaker will be speaking. Then how will you know that if the contestant is really making an evaluation to the speech? That's the time you will get a phone call from office. You will go talk, call and then come back. 5 to 7 minutes, speech over. Then what will you write for your contestants? The first thumb rule of being a voting judge in an evaluation contest is to pay utmost attention to the target speaker. Unless and otherwise you absorb that content, you wouldn't be able to make judging for what the evaluation contestant is presenting. So ensure that you pay 100% attention over there when the target speaker is presenting. Okay, so that's something very, very, very important. And as I said, body language, it is not something, it's just like an add-on factor. Don't get carried away. The person keeps moving all through the stage, doing a lot of gestures, but there is no recommendation. What do? Stick to your ballot. As voting judge, there will be a lot of tempting factors. Audience cheer, applause. The person performing in factors that are not there in the ballot, which are very appealing to you as an audience, but do not get carried away. Voting judge is all about having high levels of concentration. You don't need yoga and meditation. Be a voting judge. You all will gain that. That's it. As simple as that. Okay. So Karkavel Raja is something because I see body language in voting HSC. Can I scribe be used in case to assist? Okay, so Karkavel, in that case, we haven't had that kind of a situation yet. Maybe that is something we can write it to the TLI and then come back. But if you say for evaluation, I think it is still possible because we don't have scores for body language and stage movement. For evaluation, as you say, it's 100% entitled for visually challenged people to be the voting judge. For humorous, it's still that we need to get that consent from Toastmasters International. Okay, maybe this is something we will write back and get it to you specifically. So once our PQD is back, I'll just discuss with them and then get back on that. Okay, before going forward, I'll take one more question. Maybe Saravanan, sir.
Yes, sure. Thank you. Actually, this is regarding the same topic we discussed earlier. See, for example, if an area has 4 clubs and if one of the club is not willing to participate, not even one person also. Okay. So in that sense, how many members from the other clubs are eligible for the area level? See, for example, we have 3, right? Top 2 will be going to the next level. But I'm asking, like, all the 3 can go to the next level.
Yes, 6 people.
Okay.
You have 4 clubs. So ideally, your area contest should have 8 contestants. But
Right.
if one club is not willing to participate, nobody is coming. Just because they are not coming, you cannot add 2 more people and make it as 8 from other clubs. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. But if 2
Any
are
club,
not
2 people.
participating, if 2 clubs are not participating means,
4 people are there, sir. Even at area contest, if there is one contestant, you have to run the area contest, sir.
Okay.
As
No,
simple.
I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if they are not willing to do that, okay, in that sense, other clubs can send 3. Is it?
Yeah, they are conducting their contest, right? Other 3 clubs. Yeah. Maybe in that case, see, if the club is not in good standing, they are making a renewal and they are reviving and they are willing to nominate, you can encourage that. But the club is in good standing, but just that they are not willing to run the contest, in that case, you cannot accept nominations. It's not just a general good practice. Because
That's
if
correct.
that club is going to do, as I said to Annie, that rule has to come for all clubs in the district and it is going to make it very complicated. That's a very tough and a complex rule in rule book. So that's the reason we want to make it simple. Okay.
Right. No, in that sense, like, all the 3 from the other 3 clubs can participate in the next.
They're entitled to move on to the next level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we will move on. Evaluation ballot is done. So any questions? I see a couple of questions on, can I be a contestant in my club and not make it to the next? Okay, we'll come on to that. Evaluators, energy, lens, sincerity to recommendations. Okay, fine. Right, okay. So we will move. Okay, now ballot. Voting judge ballot. Sorry. So this is the ballot I got from a voting judge. So what should I do? As a CJ, should I consider this or not? Yes, no, please type in. I got this ballot. I know who has given me, which voting judge has given to me, I know. So should I consider this for my tally counting? No. Okay, perfect. Unless and otherwise there is a signature, you're not supposed to consider this ballot. That's fine. We are losing a judge. There can be issues in counting, but we don't have a choice. Okay, a lot of times what happens, you will run back and tell them to do the signature and then come back. After COVID, WhatsApp is everything. Everything comes in WhatsApp. But we are coming back to the old model. We are turning back to the way of contests were happening before the pandemic. So please ensure that, I know saving paper, everything comes in, but still Toastmasters operates on paper mode. At least judges' ballots, ensure that you take printouts. Else, this portion alone, just crop it, put it in a paper, cut it to 10 copies, maybe ballot also, maybe they can write it in their own hand. That's also fine. Don't bring your paper saving analogy over here. I know we all are responsible citizens, but still, this is something very, very important, especially when it scales up to levels like district where we have more than 10 judges. WhatsApp based doesn't work. We are done with that kind of conducting contest. Okay. Fine. Now, these are some of the things that voting judges have to remember. So one is about only one name. Sometimes they write it both. They are confused. They are not able to break the tie in their own ballot. So they'll write 2 names. CJ can take whichever name they want. It doesn't work. One name. Signed copies are mandatory. And at club level, do not swap. See, at club levels, what happens? There will be only 3 or 4 contestants in few clubs. Assume that ABC person come. ABC is the order in humorous. BCA is an evaluation. They'll swap it and then send it. Same name, same contestants will repeat in both. They'll get confused with the results. For example, assume Ram, Ramya, Rashmi. First place Ram, second place Ramya, third place Rashmi in evaluation. In humorous, it is different. Rashmi first place, Ram second place, Ramya third place. At club levels, when same contestants are occupying different positions in 3 levels, have that clarity. And when tally counting is happening, they come back and say, no, I gave the ballot. This person there first, second, don't swap. When names are same, this normally happens in club levels. Please be very, very cautious about your ballots. And one other thing is time. As voting judges, please don't worry about the time at all. At times what happens is you see the red flag and you get panic and you lose your points in putting in the ballot. Don't do that. The person is speaking so well, but the time is going on and you are very attached to that particular contestant and you miss out of what the person is speaking. You keep internally praying that he should somehow finish within the timeline and you would lose the points in your ballot. Don't do that. Ensure that you do not pay attention to time at all. Because one of the voting judge, in my previous experience, what she did was, in her own ballot, she got 2 people in tie. So just because the red flag was shown, she had to cut down that one person and then send me the ballot. No, it doesn't work that way. So forget about the time and just concentrate upon what the speaker is delivering over there. Fine. And also, ensure you make your scoring only in that 1 minute of silence. At times, what happens? The next contestant keeps speaking, you keep writing your ballot. Then how will you do justice to the next contestant? Totaling you can do at the end. That's why we give 2 minutes at the end. But this is very crucial. Just write it down and then mark your scores at the end. And staying unbiased is very, very important. You would have seen somebody would have come to your speech club to give the education session, or you would have been very inspired by that person in previous thing. That person is being contesting for 10 years, 15 years. But that particular day's performance matters. That's it. Don't get trapped in the halo effect. Previous experiences don't count. You're not hiring people. We are only judging. Experiences doesn't count. Everybody is a fresher on that particular day of the contest. So that's something that we all have to keep in mind. And if you're not able to put scores on the ballot, ensure that you make notes when especially for the evaluation contest, make notes on what the target speaker is speaking. Just like the contestants, voting judges, you can make notes and see if you're able to relate with that content. That's something that you all can practice. So this is all about voting judge. Now, Abdul, you're there? I think this is the last poll we have. So is Abdul there? I'm not able to see Abdul. Okay. Okay, we have got mixed responses. So let me see. According to, I am able to see this, the tiebreaker judge does not attend the briefing session. According to the rule book, the tiebreaker will not attend the briefing session. Okay. As CJs, what you do? You take everybody and then make the briefing. Tie-breaking judge will not attend your judge's briefing. You will not tell the tally counters who the tie-breaking judge is. Lot of time what happens? Tally counter collects the tie-breaking ballot as well. Incorrect. Tie-breaking results will come to the CJ. Nobody will know. The tally counter will do the tally. Only if there is a tie, then that ballot comes into picture. Else you will not even tell the tally counters who the tie-breaking judge is. Your tie-breaking judge will not attend your briefing. So this is one flaw which even I have done in the past. That's still okay. We are all here to correct that. So please do not take your tie-breaking judges in your briefing session to all the CJs. Okay. So quickly moving on to the equal number of judges. So somebody asked how many number of judges? At club and area level, minimum 5 voting judges and 1 tie-breaking judge. And division at district, if you're going, you have to take 7 voting judges and 1 tie-breaking judge. Or the rule says, for area contest, you have to take, if you're not able to make 5 people from other areas or other divisions, you have to take equal number of people from all the clubs. Assume that club has got, an area has got 4 clubs, then there will be 4 people, 1 person from each of the club as the voting judge. In either of the cases, tiebreaker is mandatory. Fine. But it is always advised to go with option 1. Don't go with option 2. Only at district we go with option 2. Because we cannot invite people from other districts, from Bangalore, Hyderabad, or from Kerala, Sri Lanka. Until division, option 1 stays. Fine. Only for district we go for option 2. we get people from all divisions. Okay. So this is your judging eligibility matrix. So I've shared two matrices. One is the role player eligibility matrix, and next is the voting and tiebreaker, the count. This is how the count works. Either of the options, you need to have a tiebreaker. Please go with option 1 for all the area CJs, division CJs. District CJ has got no choice, so they will go with the option 2. Okay, fine. And we'll quickly move to the chief judge checklist. It is important for the CJ to ensure that your voting judges are in good standing if they are a paid member. Again, area contest example comes in. You will book the panel for an area contest. Today JTP is over. Now all of you will start messaging Navaraya, or that starts. Then you will book your voting judge thing. And they don't renew in September. You cannot take them because just because you don't have people, you cannot take them to be a voting judge on October 2nd. Got it? Voting judges have to be paid members. And second thing is, as CJs, when backouts happen, don't make tie breaking and don't you become a voting judge. No, don't do that. Ensure always to have surplus people. If the rule book says 5, it's okay to have 10. So that even if 3 or 4 people back out, still you will be able to run the show. Rule book says 5, I will only have 5. Rule book says 7, I will have only 7. It doesn't work. Toastmasters unsaid rule is back out. Committing and back out is part of a fraternity. You know people. And there are exceptions of emergency and other things as well. So always have surplus people and have a mix and match. Somebody who has done judging already, someone who is fairly into the judging process, and ensure that you take at least one person newly to your voting judge every time you go. That's very important. That's how we groom people. That's when we will get fresh set of leaders. Only when people start attending as voting judges, they are entitled to become chief judges. That's very, very important. And as CJs, you should choose your tally counters. Don't put it on the heads of contest chess. I want 2 tally counters. No. Tally counters should be chosen by the chief judge. You cannot ask your contest chair to choose your tally counters. And you will not reveal that at all. At the end of role player recognition, you can say who the tally counters are. Until then, you're not telling anybody, even the contest chair. Okay, that's important. Then contestant eligibility, the contest chair will make a check, but you also have to make a check. Your contest chair is Jen. I know it's very, very reliable. I know my good friend at work, I have known him for as a family friend, everything. But still, everybody is just a human. We make mistakes. So ensure that you revise that eligibility pattern once again. And most important thing is be present at the contestant briefing and lot picking. Don't say I'm busy. When you have a seasoned contest chair, you do. I'm not available today. You do. By chance, if the contest chair is not picking up any point, you as a CJ, you have to cover up on that content as well. So ensure to mark your presence in contestant briefing and lot picking process. Do not discuss the results after the contest. Frustrated contestants will come. In between breaks, it happens. In division contest, in district contest, they keep all good. Okay, they'll come and have coffee with you. All okay, va? Disqualification irka, they'll come and ask. But that's where you have to hold your integrity. And to tally counters as well, please be very, very, very cautious. You shouldn't reveal your results. So next, the final thing that I wanted to tell about is the protest. Protest can be done only by the voting judge and contestants. Sometimes audience come up with protest. Sometimes the contest chair himself comes with the protest. No. Voting judge and contestants can alone do the protest. If somebody else is writing the protest as a CJ and contest chair, do not encourage that. And protest can happen only in three kinds of things. One is on the eligibility. We spoke about the area membership, dual membership, renewal, not renewal, all those things. Originality is when they take content from internet sources and if they are not making reference. For example, you have seen that speech somewhere else. It has been a stand-up comedy elsewhere. The person is repeating that. In that case, it comes. And reference to another contestant in the same speech category. A humorous contestant cannot refer a humorous contestant, but still can refer an evaluation contestant. Again, don't get confused. I'm repeating. Reference to contestants again in the same speech category. A humorous speech contestant cannot refer to a fellow humorous speech contestant. but can refer to an evaluation contestant. Okay. Again, if the person is both in humorous and evaluation, and if the person is referring to him or her, disqualification. CJs, contestants, be very, very clear with the protest. Audience, chief judge, contest chair, and role players, they cannot raise protest. Only voting judge and contestants can do. And contest chair can only disqualify on basis of eligibility and not on anything else. Chief judge can only disqualify on the basis of originality and reference to another things. That too, you have to talk all to your voting judges. And if they all concur and say that yes, disqualify, only then you can. Just because you want to disqualify, you cannot. Chief judge, you cannot disqualify with your own authority. Unless and otherwise your voting judges concur and give you a collective yes, you cannot disqualify. You do not have the eligibility to disqualify. Decision of your voting judges are final when it comes to protest. So that is something thing Bobby has put it. I'll come back, Bobby, on this. I did not understand the same person in different contests referring. Okay. For example, okay, I see Jyoti and Priyang. Sorry, Priyang on my tiles. I'll take the example. Now, Jyoti is contesting in humorous speech. Priyang is contesting both in evaluation speech and in humorous speech as well. Okay. Now, Jyoti's Thomas picks up the content what Priyang spoke from evaluation and not from humor. But Priyang is still a humorous contestant. In that case too, it calls for a disqualification because it is not just about the content of what Priyang, what Jyoti spoke about Priyang. It is about the contestant herself. You cannot refer to a person if he's also a fellow contestant. Keep it as simple as that. He spoke something on evaluation and you want to take that point and put it in a humorous speech contest, still you're referring to that contestant, so don't do that. On the same category, if the person is there, then it calls for a disqualification. Okay, so any questions here? Okay, Bobby got it. Fine, one more. Then, okay, this question is always there. Can I be a contestant in my club and not make it to the next level? Can I be the CJ for another club? If you have lost at any contest level, then you can consider about judging. But in between gap of proceeding to next level, you cannot. Okay? That's as simple as that. You try your feet as a contestant, you're not able to make it, you want to explore judging, fine. You have made it until area, division is happening after 2 months. 2 months, I want to go and do judging, doesn't work. Okay. So with this, we'll go to the, okay. The most confusing part of thing is tie breaking. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. So let me see if I'm able to make it clear for all of you. For all the first time CJs, this is for you. Here, if you see, so this is a tally counter ballot for people who have not seen it. So here, John and Clara, they are on a tie. If you see, we have got results from 7 judges. We have tallied them. John and Clara are on a tie. Now what happens here is when you will look for your tiebreaker ballot. Okay. So let us slowly do that. See, this is your tiebreaker ballot. In normal judging ballot, there will be only 3 places. In tiebreaker ballot, there will be all places. That is the difference. So Clara, Peter, John, James, Sam. So it has been put up for all the people. So this tiebreaker judge is given. Now, okay. So this is your tally counting result. You have to decide if it's John or Clara. Second is Sam and Peter. And this is your tie breaking thing. So let us see how you can break the tie. So is it visible for all of you? Yes. We'll see how we go with the results. So what happens? From the tie breaking, you would take Clara and put it in your results. Because in tie breaking, John or Clara has taken the higher precedence. And second place cannot be Sam because 7 judges have given voting for John as equally as Clara. But Clara has got 1 extra point because tie-breaking judge also feels Clara is good. So now what happens? 8 judges feel Clara is good. 7 judges feel John is good. So second place will go to John and third place will come to Sam. Is it clear? Yes. No, can you please type it in the chat? Because to rerun the animation, I have to, okay, Sri Vidya Hariharan didn't get it. Fine, ma'am, I'll just put it once again. With this, we'll quickly go to the contest in interest of time. Yeah. So now this is your tally counting results. 7 judges feel John and Clara are the winner. Okay, but tiebreaker judge feels Clara is the winner. So what happens now? 8 judges vote for Clara and 7 judges vote for John. Okay, so what happens? Clara takes the first position and John will take the second position. You cannot take Sam to be the second person. Why? Because here John is already there and 7 people have voted for him as equal to Clara. But one person has additionally voted for Clara, which is your tiebreaker judge. So now what happens? John and Clara are here. Srividya, just repeat. So you have to decide among both. So a tiebreaker judges voted for Clara. So in results, Clara will take the first position. Now, 7 people believe that John is also a winner. So John will take the second place and third place will go to Sam. Yes. Okay. She got it. Thank you so much. So with that, I think we are wrapping up all my explanations for the JTP. We are going to run a mock contest quickly with this. I do have 2 questions. Maybe I'll take it up after the mock contest. The purpose of the mock contest is for all of you to understand the evaluation ballot, because as I said, evaluation is one of the toughest thing. I'll share the evaluation ballot in the chat. I don't know if you would be able to download it here. So there will be 1 target speaker and 2 contestants will be giving their speeches. You have to be the voting judge for those 2 contestants. Okay. With that contest, we will be wrapping up on JTP. I think we are on time. Priyanka, we are on time, right? Yeah. So do we have Venkatesh here?
We have our PQD.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
The participants.
Okay.
So maybe I'll introduce him and then we can go for the mock contest.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I would like to introduce and call upon our Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Mohanakrishnan. Before that, I'll give a quick intro about him. So Distinguished Toastmaster Mohanakrishnan is an engineering graduate having 15 years of experience in software industry, currently working as Principal Product Manager in Gen Digital, a passionate public speaker and avid traveler. He has traveled around 20+ countries, the first member to achieve Pathways DTM in District 120, created the first of its kind membership dues calculator for clubs and members, served as conference chair for annual conference of Division I, Illuminate 2018, served as the assistant division director program quality, served as the area director, served as the division director of Division A, served as the club growth director, currently serving as the program quality director of District 120. Let's welcome our Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Mohanakrishnan. Over to you.
Hey, hi. Thank you, Abdul. Can I see a thumbs up?
Yeah.
If you can hear me and see me, super. Thank you so much. I've been here for a little over an hour. It's actually 2 o'clock here. If you're not aware, I'm at the Bahamas attending the World Convention. To be precise, we're talking and running the JTP here. And I just finished the World Champion of Public Speaking and coming here witnessing our judges training program. And I was a contest official, okay? And Vaishali was just like a firecracker. This 1 hour with all the details and stuff. Thank you, Vaishali, and of course Abdul for making sure this runs on time, so our clubs and members get to know about judging and contests and everything. And thank you so much for all the 100+ participants that I heard quite a few of you are first timers and all those. So thank you so much for taking your time on a Sunday morning, right? Yeah, Sunday morning to make sure you learn something new, even even if you knew something already, I'm sure there's going to be something or the other that the session is going to let you know. A lot of things, I did see all the slides that Vaishali was running through, and a lot of changes. I just want to cover a couple of things, right? Just experiences here. As I mentioned, just the timing, the world champion finishes, world champion of public speaking. We have new champions here, and then we run this. First thing I want to let you all know, especially for the new people here, new members here. Not every district has a TLI team, Toastmasters Leadership Institute. We have to be very proud to have something in our district, which means we have all these trainings running. Number two, we just finished, you might see me suit up and all those. There was this president's dinner, inauguration dinner and all those. So I just came finishing that at 1 o'clock, and it's 2 o'clock here. I was telling people, when they asked where are you running and all, they said we have a judges training program, and other PQDs and district directors and club growth directors asked me, okay, what is that? Not like they don't understand, which means they don't do that. So please be aware that ours is one of the very few districts that has a chief judge role, that has a judges training program, that runs a contest management program. Not every district does that. So that's something that I thought I'll let you guys know. And one thing, it is so happy to be here at the convention, watching world champion and all those. To all the people that are going to judge, to all the people that came here to be a contestant, please make sure we deliver the best, right? As a contestant, as a judge, make sure you heard the CJ mention about integrity and all those when doing stuff. So even though it was very happy to sit here, cheer up, shout, dance during the world championship, to see people win that, I always have this feeling that there is we are yet to produce a world champion from our district, and that should be our goal, right? And you never know, it could be from one of our clubs, and that should be the goal that we work, not just as a contestant, also as a CJ, also as a judge, any contest official for that matter. So that's something that I want to bring it up. And one other point with the experience, the reason probably few of you might have thought, well, okay, why is Vaishali saying don't take roles in the same area? One thing that I followed when I was a division director is I told all my area directors saying, no one takes CJ in Division A. I was a Division A director. No, none of the Division A directors should take CJ in any of the clubs in Division A. Let's try to avoid. There's nothing like a fixed rule or anything. Let's try to avoid that bias. No chances taken there. I can give you a real-time example. One of the point that Vaishali mentioned was, you might run short of a hand, and the CJ will take a judging and all those. This happened real time. I don't want to mention which year, which area or what. All of a sudden, there was this area contest happening, and then one judge dropped out, and they made the area director take up the judges. And see, this is beyond integrity, respect, service, excellence, everything. The area director marked something that they felt right. You heard again the CJ mentioning it's the judges ballot is all about what I feel. As simple as that, and you don't have to feel bad about it or good about it. It's what you feel. You put it there. Unfortunately, shouldn't happen. The tally counter knows who the judge is, right? And we have come up with different names. Internationally or in district, we started doing a panel A, judge one. Only the CJ knows who is judge one. No one else knows. But unfortunately, the tally counter saw that the area director did not vote for one of the club member, and then he went and said, your own area director did not vote for you. Was not supposed to happen. But all these things are things that we need to avoid, right? So, and I saw a message from Kirkwell asking about being a judge. Amazing question, Kirkwell. We'll have Vaishali and I will talk about it, and we'll have, as a district, we'll write to TA and see what are the options that we have to be a judge. In fact, just for your information, few of you might have known the third place winner of the world champion of public speaking is visually challenged. The person that won today is visually challenged. So the sky is also not a limit. We'll definitely see what we can. TA will not know until we write to them, right? All these rule books and diamonds that probably Vaishali would have mentioned at the beginning is all the questions and asks and everything that we all wrote to TA, and every year that's why they come up with new rule book and new points to be added. So feel free to bring up any questions. I always say this: no silly questions or stupid questions. You never know how that could be a game changer and how our contest could change. So please feel free to drop an email, WhatsApp, anything. You all know that we are around to just respond. But keep that coming. That is what is going to help our district, our clubs, and also Toastmasters International to change things on how contest works. So otherwise, I know JTPs are always something that runs for long hours. Definitely insightful, a lot of information. So enjoy the roles that you take, be it a contest official as a contestant or a role player or the CJ judge, anything for that matter. Do it and give it your best. We need the contest to be best in our district, and that should be our goal. And someday we'll have to see a world champion rising from our district. Should be our dream for all of us. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll all connect sometime later. I'm going to just, I would love to sit and see, but I'm just, very tired after an entire big day. So I'll let the proceedings to Vaishali, our chief judge, and then go to bed. Thank you so much. Enjoy the training. Have a great day, and over to you, TLI Chair, Toastmaster Abdul.
Yeah. Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Mohan Krishnan, for your address in midst of the convention. So now let's start our mock contest. I see our test speaker, Toastmaster Venkateshan is on video. Toastmaster Venkateshan, can you please confirm if you have pinned the timer? Toastmaster Priyank.
Abdul, also we have contestants Bharat and Prakash. So ensure if they are also on video. And Bharat and Prakash, could you please come on your videos? I don't see them.
Yeah, we have both of them, but they have to turn on their videos.
We have both of them, but they haven't turned on. Prakash is here. I'm able to see Prakash. Okay, Venkat will unmute. Okay. So Bharat is here. Bharat has raised the hand. Okay. So Bharat, you will be able to come on your video. Maybe you can type it in the chat. If not, again, I don't see both of them. We'll have of time.
Yeah, Prakash is here.
Prakash is here. Bharat in some time, please. Okay. So assuming that Bharat is listening to what Venkatesh says, in interest of time, we will start, Abdul. Yeah.
Sure. Test speaker, can you please check your audio, and we can see your video. Can you please repeat like contest 1, 2, 3 in your higher and lower voice?
Contest 1, 2, 3. Contest 1, 2, 3.
CJ, can you please confirm if he is audible and visible?
Yes, just a second. I've posted the evaluation ballot in the chat for all the participants to pick it up. So once the speech is done. So as I said, first we all will pay attention to the target speaker, make notes if needed. Then when the evaluation contestants come up, you can start giving your scores on the ballot. Okay? We are good to start, Abdul.
May I request all other participants to turn off their videos so that it will be less distracting for the contestants. Thank you very much. Great. So I believe the test speaker has pinned the timer, and we have the contestants Bharat, we are missing you. If possible, kindly turn on your video. Okay, so let's start our test. Let's hear our test speaker, Toastmaster Venkateshan. Rasa, one more, please. Rasa, one more, please. Toastmaster Venkateshan.
Last quarter, I exceeded my sales target. Did my boss approve it? No. I scored more than 95% in my mathematics exam. Did my mom recognize it? No. Last month, I prepared Mysore rasam. Did my mother-in-law recognize it? No. Motivation, recognition, these are the voices which we hear from every one of us, within us, outside us. Dear fellow Toastmasters, good morning. Last month, I was attending an open house in Madurai, Toastmasters open house. I volunteered myself for the role of table topic speaker. We had a very good crowd. At the end of the meeting, the division head director, Toastmaster Rajavalli, invited me on the stage and recognized my volunteering with this gift, a book. This recognition, this motivation pushed me ahead to volunteer for more open houses and volunteering for other activities outside Toastmasters also. Another incident. Yesterday, the world champion of public speaking, Jocelyn Tyson, she had won. The motivation that has provided her, that crown has provided her, she will volunteer, she will grow ups and bounds to volunteer for more activities in not only in Toastmasters, even outside Toastmasters, to take up this public speaking skills. That is the kind of motivation every one of us are looking for. On March 18, last March 18, when I was coming back from our club meeting, our president told me, Venkat, can you take up the milestone chair for our next milestone meeting? My lord, I hit the jackpot. The lady lark just fell on my lap. I was preparing for my next project in motivational strategies pathway, motivating the team members. What is the best opportunity that I could get? I grabbed it. We found a very great team, self-motivated team of individuals from my club, Medley Toastmasters. We had conducted few meetings. All of us, the team members, were self-motivated, but we had members who are very new to organizing an event like this. We are struggling to find keynote speakers and some educational speakers. We had one person within the team who was more experienced. I used my motivational strategy, which was given in the pathway. So I reached out to her and I told her, ma'am, you see, you are the senior most member in our club. You have done various roles and events like this. Can you please help us to get the educational speakers for this? With her help, we were able to get the best education speakers and the keynote speakers from the district for our event. With that kind of motivation that I gave her, the status that I recognized what she held, she went an extra mile and she volunteered for organizing the marketing events for our club's milestone meeting. That is the motivation that helped her to go that extra mile. We had another organizing member who was working with me. The TMOD whom we identified had to drop off for personal reasons. So I went to this person, the organizing team member. I told her, can you take up the role of TMOD? I thought maybe giving her some position in the milestone meeting, some important crucial position will motivate her. But she generously denied. She said, Venkat, I'm not interested on the stage. What I'm more interested is working as a team to get along with this team, which is working on the back end to make this event a successful one. Though my strategy didn't work with them, I appreciated, I acknowledged their point of view. If you wanted to get along with the team and work on a common cause rather than spotlighting them in a specific event. With all these experiences, I had a very successful milestone meeting. Along with that, I learned a motivational strategy framework from my project. I call it as RASA, R-A-S-A, RASA. Recognition, achievement, status, or affiliation. Any motivation, you can identify or group them under this framework. RASA is the framework. I have started using this framework and have seen that very successful even in my personal and professional life. Okay, we know that feedback is the breakfast for not only the champions, even for all fellow Toastmasters like me. So I took feedback from all the members from that meeting. The specific feedback, I want to put them into 3 categories. One is the proactive management. Though we had to motivate our team members, we need to identify what is the nature of motivation that each member is looking for. It should be proactively understood so that your strategy could be successful. The second learning is unanimity versus unilaterality. Your decision as a team should be always unanimous than unilateral. If that is applied in a teamwork, that will motivate your team and also your strategy will be successful. The third, but the last one is not only the size of the shirt, even the strategy may not fit for all. One strategy may not fit for all every time. Like my experience, the last person, I tried a strategy. It didn't work out. It came out that she is looking for something else. I acknowledged it and that was successful. So for Toastmasters, I found out my recipe for a successful team, RASA, R-A-S-A. Are you ready to take up these motivation strategies and grow up on your ladder? Over to you. Thank you.
Let's now give 5 minutes silence for the evaluators to write the evaluation. Timer, please indicate when 5 minutes is over. Thank you, timer, for indicating the time. So I will request the contestants to stop writing, and I'll move the second contestant, Prakash, to the breakout room. Yeah. I see Prakash is already moved to the breakout room. Let's start with contestant number 1, Toastmaster Bharat. Toastmaster Bharat, Bharat, can you please confirm if you have pinned the timer?
Yes, I have pinned the timer.
Okay. Please repeat evaluation contest 1, 2, 3 in your higher and lower.
Evaluation contest 1, 2, 3. Evaluation contest 1, 2, 3.
Chief Judge, can you please confirm if the contestant is audible and visible?
Yes.
Evaluation contestant number 1, Bharat Kumar. Bharat Kumar, contestant number 1.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A special good morning to my target speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh. You were really helped us to understand what is the essence of volunteering, being it to a social cause or to the journey towards Toastmaster, which was something really connecting to us, also the members in the audience. Thank you for doing that wonderful job in today. When you do these volunteering stuffs to the society, there are certain things which I loved to the most in your speech, the way you made engross with your stories. Let me help you with the 3 things which I loved the most in your speech. The first thing is the structure. You had a proper structure, the 3-hand rule, which we say with the opening, the body, and a quick tip, which helped us to get connected with your story so that we will be able to implement with your motivations in our upcoming volunteering journey. The other thing which I love the most is the impact. Creating an impact is something which everyone wants to do in their life, and you were able to do that in one of your speech is something which I really admired the most. The tool which you used to create an impact is sharing your stories. Your own stories helps us to understand how you were able to create an impact in your members, and also helped us to understand how we can do the same in our journey too. Thank you for doing that wonderful impact of creating stories in your speech. The last one, which I loved and admired the most in your speech, is the last tidbits. The 3 tidbits which you were able to give us and which actually helped us to understand in a more detailed manner that how we can use 3 steps to get entering into volunteering journey. When we talk most about your positivities, there are certain things which we can also help you to understand that this will help you to make your speech to the next level. So I just want to quote 2 things which will help you to get on to the next level. Is one, with your body language. You are perfect with your body language, but when you are giving a speech, try to use your hands properly. You were using this clasping hands, which was actually giving a notation to the audience member that you're not confident. You have to loosen up your hand, either keep your hand whenever it is necessary, you bring it in front of the people so that we will be able to understand that you're open to questions or you're open and confident for your speech. And the other thing which I wanted to help you to make it better is when you're quickly summarizing the things, give us pause so that we'll be able to understand what you're saying. In a quick summarization, you are perfect at your structure, perfect at your language, perfect at your last statements. But when it comes to improving yourself, please do check on your body language and summarization. With that said, handing back the screen to the Chief Judge.
Let's now give 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timer indicate when 1 minute is elapsed. Thank you, timer. Contestant number 2, Prakash. Can you confirm if you have pinned the timer?
Am I audible? You're not audible to me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Can you please confirm if you have pinned the timer?
Yes, I have.
Can you please repeat after me? Evaluation contest 1, 2, 3 in higher and lower voice.
Evaluation contest 1, 2, 3. Evaluation contest 1, 2, 3.
CJ, can you please confirm if the contestant is audible and visible? Contestant number 2, Prakash. Prakash, contestant number 2.
Respected TLI chair, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear Rasa target speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh. After listening to your speech, I remember this quote very fondly. There are 3 C's in life: choice, chance, and change. Today I observed Toastmaster Venkatesh did make the choice and took the chance and delivered a spectacular speech, which made the change of bringing up the motivational strategy within us. Now, quickly moving to the positives of your speech to view in the perspective of traditional nuances, you had good eye contact, hand gestures, and the movement within the frame, in which the expectation was set and the same expectation was met. You did a phenomenal job over there. Going beyond that, I would like to highlight 3 precious positives of your speech. First is the choice of words or phrases. The powerful choice of words and phrases that you had in your speech was so relevant and created an impact through your delivery. Especially to quote a few: motivation, recognition, unanimous, unilateral, and the analogy of not the shirt size fits to all, as well as at times the strategy doesn't fit to all. It was neatly delivered. The second is the content structure. The way you scripted the content with 3 different incidents created a good flow from the beginning to end, which made your presentation part phenomenal. Especially started with an attention grabbing start of 3 different correlation, and moving on to the first incident of your being a table topic speaker in an open house, then about the world championship, sharing their experience of being a volunteer, and finally you as conducting a milestone meeting, and how did you build up your motivational strategies that neatly delivered to the audience. The third is the confidence level. Few speakers will have good communication and few speakers will have clarity in thoughts. But when the speaker is confident, both communication and clarity in thoughts will work together. And today, it was evident from your flawless speech. Right from the beginning till end, you were confident on the content which you want to deliver, and it was evident that you were flawless. With these positives, I would like to move on a couple of recommendations to make your great speech a greater speech. First is the effective conclusion. In any speech, how the beginning is important, the same way conclusion too plays a vital role. So in conclusion, if you have a call to action, that would become more effectiveness. For example, you would have said, I would have come up with a motivational strategy of Rasa within me. Whereas if you can find your motivational strategy and can bring up something similar to Rasa, that would become an effective way of an audience. That made me to think, okay, how can I build my motivational strategy within me? That would become an effective one. The second is the translation of the language usage you have done. In a case you said, understanding the heterogeneous crowd, people who are from in the Tamil background can understand, whereas another background couldn't relate to the language which you used. In that case, you can translate it to the English so that people of heterogeneous crowd can able to relate to it and can sync with the speech what you want to say. In this case, banana slipped and soaked into the milk. So exactly people can relate to what you are saying in that Tamil. Finally, to summarize, I enjoyed your speech, which has a commendable choice of words, clear content structure, champion confidence level. Along with that, if you can work on the conclusion by having call to action and translation of language wherever you use your mother language, I'm sure your speech will turn into milestone speech. And personally, today it made me to think, Rasa, one more please. What do you think, TLI chair?
Chief Judge, to continue the session.
Okay.
Let us now give 2 minutes silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timer, please indicate once 2 minutes is elapsed. Thank you, timer. Over to you, Toastmaster Vaishali, for conducting an effective session on Judges Training Program. So we need your feedback to improve our sessions. So I have posted the feedback link in the chat. Kindly submit your feedback. And also I recommend all to come on video so we take a quick snap of today's session. All the participants who have joined us today. Can you please turn on your video? Ready? Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. I recognize our district CJ for conducting this session, and also the timer for the day, Toastmaster Priyank, for being with us till the end. Thank you all. I'll be sharing all the materials and the recording for this session once we finalize all the materials. Thank you very much. You can stay back for networking. I'll stop the recording.
Now we are not going to declare the result of who is the winner. Rather, we are going to see what are all the possible biases that we could get trapped among these two speakers. So first is about when we see Bharat was sitting but Prakash was standing. For evaluation ballot, there is no body language. So that is something that you all have to, again, keep in mind. And see if you have done your judging without holding the bias of their body language. And the second thing is, Prakash had more time, Bharat had less time. So this is one bias that people get trapped off again. The first contestants will normally, by no choice, will have got less time. And the last contestant will have more time. But that shouldn't become a parameter for you to do your judging. Okay, Bharat had less time, Prakash had more time. So he was able to give more techniques and more recommendations. But I'm doing injustice to Bharat. So let me increase mark for Bharat and lessen scores for Prakash. No, it doesn't work that way. So these are some of the unconscious bias that we get trapped when it comes to evaluation, voting judge process. So we have to be very, very aware about that. And third thing is about the speech wrap-up, conclusions. In conclusion, Prakash was able to sum up the entire thing, but the conclusion what Bharat gave was into a different synergy. Analyze. Was the conclusion about the speech, was about the speaker, or was about the evaluation they gave? Which category does that conclusion really fit into? That's very important. Most of the times we don't do. Conclusions, if Prakash said conclusion, it doesn't mean. Bharat said it was lovely, it doesn't mean it's a conclusion. So these are the three biases from this small piece of the contest that we were able to identify, in which we as voting judges will get trapped unconsciously. Now, revisit your ballot sheet and see if you're able to revisit some of the scores. Once done, you're not supposed to revisit. That's a different story. But now, after realizing that these 3 pointers are the unconscious bias, and if you have given scores in that accordance, then you have to be cautious when you're doing actual judging in the forthcoming contest. The whole activity of doing this mock contest is to identify some of the unconscious bias that comes in the evaluation contest. Fine. So with that, we are almost done with the session. I just want to reiterate on 4 important rules while we wrap up. One is select judges only from the JTP. Somebody could be a seasoned Toastmaster for 10 years, 15 years, even the international president. Unless and otherwise they attend District 120's JTP program, they cannot be a judge at any level within the club's area, division, and district of District 120. That's why we have got one more JTP coming next week in person. If people are not in both of these lists, then we will not entertain or not entertain, will not allow them to be the judges, be it voting judge or the chief judge. And second thing, for all the area directors, especially club presidents, no exchange. You become my CJ, I will become your CJ. F4 will go to E1, E1 will go to F4. No, exchange and this interchangeability, don't do it. This year, especially our PQD, Mohana Krishnas is very conscious about grooming a new set of judges, because there's been a lot of repetition when it comes to judging. For all the division directors, I know you have, some of you have identified your CJs, but still from district, we'll be giving you a set of recommendations on the CJ pool as well. Look into that and then go accordingly. Ensure that we give maximum opportunities to people this year. That's the motto it's all about. It's not that I know as a division director, you want to run a good show. As a club president, you want to run a good show. But also take that courage to encourage someone new to make that new show go even more better. That's one point that you all have to think of. And the last thing is on the addendum. See, the concept of addendum came because we started with online contest. Before that, there wasn't addendum. For people who joined during Toastmasters, this is something I want to tell you all. Addendum is something we wanted to propose because there are a lot of rules with respect to the online platform. Now we are switching back to the old thing. So now there isn't a need for us to go for the addendum again. But still, if area contests are going to happen in online modes, we will be proposing an addendum for that online contest rules alone. Again, we need to wait for the tryout to come back. They have to send emails to the TLI, get it approved, and then go ahead with the addendum, get it voted at the district council. Only at that point of time, it will get circulated. Until then, please hold on. Do not bug Abdul asking for where is the district addendum. There is this much of process has to go on. We have little intricacies, so I'll have some time for us to sort this down. The last and the final closing remark I want to say is rule book is our Bible, and I'm your Bible reader this year. So for any doubts, first go on to the rule book and see if there is a mismatch or any kind of discrepancy that's happening. If you're not able to figure it out by yourself, please feel free to reach out to me. Give opportunities to new CJs, give opportunities to new judges, and let us ensure that we groom a fresh set of judges this year. So that is the main motto of the district. We want to expand our pool of chief judges this year for all area directors, for all division directors, for all the club presidents. Ensure you give newer opportunities and let us all together run an ethical show with utmost integrity. So that is all from me. For any other questions, I'll leave my number. So please feel to reach out to me. Let us not hold people on their Sunday afternoon anymore. We will close the session. Okay, fine. So over to you, Abdul, with that.